The MLB The Show 20 hype train has left the station, and yesterday, San Diego Studios had a 2-hour-long live stream where they talked about everything gameplay. Now, even though it was so long, I want to make sure that I can recap it for you, summarize it. You know, you can of course watch the full thing. I'll have links to that down in the description. But in this video, we're going to go over 10 new gameplay features coming to MLB The Show 20. Let's jump into it. Coming in at number 1, a brand new PCI. So if you played in the beta, and obviously it's up here on the screen, the outside circle indicates vision, the inside circle indicates kind of contact, and those dots indicate what type of hitter it is. If the dot is bigger up top, then it means they're more of a fly ball type hitter. If it's in the middle, more of a balanced like line drive hitter. And then if the bottom dot is big, then it's more of a ground ball kind of line drive hitter. Apparently there was more than 6 million swings in the beta, and of all of those, there was only 2% were perfect swings. So perfect timing and perfect alignment. In the beta, they showed that perfect swings hit a batting average of 860. Even good and squared up hit 747, and then good had 600. And so this new PCI system should really make things a lot more reliable, a lot more competitive. Coming in at number 2, a customizable PCI. So this was a little bit of a surprise. It kind of reminds me of Call of Duty's reticle, where you could kind of customize color and shapes to do whatever you want. So if you go inside the menu, you can look at that PCI, and you can kind of change so many different things. You can change what icons are in the middle. It could be diamonds and dots and things like that. Then there was the inner circle and the outer circle. You can customize what those look like. You could also change the color, like white and yellow and magenta, blue, purple. You could have it so that it was more transparent. And then also you could have it set up so that it faded. The PCI would fade out. And so they went through all of that. I think that's pretty cool. Coming in at number 3, high velocity secondary pitching quirks. They reference a few pitchers that have, like sinkers or two seams. They showed Alvarado's two seam as an example that was hitting 102. They showed Chapman's fastball that was hitting the kind of 102. Noah Syndergaard's sinker. Sinkers are already pretty tough to hit. That's going to make someone like, Noah Syndergaard really difficult. Number 4, a defensive attribute screen. So if you press R3, it kind of gives you this like big picture, like press box view of everyone in the field, and it shows their fielding, their reaction, their arm strength, and their accuracy. Now I wish it showed the players' names. That's probably the only feedback I would give. So this is going to give you a lot more information so you can make better decisions on base running, which is a big deal this year. Outfield play, arm strength, which we'll get into that in a little bit. And number 5, it's fielding. There's new fielding in the outfield. Basically, I think they talked about, San Diego Studios talked about that they wanted to make outfielders feel different, easier to hit balls into the gap, that better outfielders would get better jumps. And so there's no delayed pivots. There's slight delayed pivots. There's obviously bad jumps, which we saw last year. That'll make more players in the outfield that aren't, as good at playing the outfield, more reliability. And then the players like, Mike Trout that are just going to be absolute studs out there, even people like Cody Bellinger. Number 6, an extreme catch indicator. So this is going to happen for all balls into the outfield that they said, but ones that are line drives or ones that are just out of the reach of the outfielder, there's going to be this little ball dot with a red indicator around the outside of it that's going to show, and this is going to let you know that there's an opportunity to try and dive and make a big play, try a shoestring catch, but it's really going to depend on the attributes of the fielder. I mean, there's a lot of different animations that could play out. You could dive and catch it. You could dive and miss. You could try and pull up short and maybe block it and it might squirt past. In the past, you just kind of had to just not even try or let the computer take the wheel. So here you're going to know like, okay, this is time. I got to focus. This might be an opportunity to dive or really try and get this based off of who your fielder is. All right, coming in at number 7, new throw accuracy meter. This year, what they've tried to do is, depending on the fielder and depending on what the situation is, that this little green marker where you want to try and hit into having a perfectly accurate throw will change based off the, the ability of the fielder. I think, you know, the needle, they said the needle is sped up. There's going to be a little bit of adjustment that you're going to go through that's different than before. It's going to take into player you know, attributes and incorporate distance and the user skill as well too. If you can get a perfect throw, like right in the line, right in the sliver, you're going to see the exact perfect throw that you want. Coming to number 8, catcher throw meter accuracy. When you're trying to throw someone out that's running, it's going to be very similar. You're going to see, you know, the meter climb up, but then there's going to be a little like perfect sliver so that you know that that is the perfect throw that the catcher can make, the best chance at getting the runner out. And so no more is that green section going to be a little bit of a dice roll where you thought you hit it perfectly, but for whatever reason they didn't get the tag down, or there was a delay, and so, you know, they're trying to improve that. Coming in at number 9, catcher blocking. So there's a whole suite of new animations. You know, they wanted to take players blocking and ability and kind of scale the animations, you know, for things in the dirt. You know, 99 overall blocking guys, like really good catchers, we're going to get a good chance to block everything. But then low catchers are, you know, going to struggle, and they're not going to necessarily get everything in front of them. They're really trying to separate those two so that even someone that's in the 70s or 80s in skill is much different than someone in the 90s. All right, and then coming in 10, new efficiency animations. Now, I thought this is really cool. Now, San Diego Studios, they have their own motion capture studio that's within range, that's, you know, available to them, and so they're bringing in athletes, baseball players all the time to capture all these animations. And so they went through and tried to make things look better. They looked at problems and complaints that people are having in the game, and found ways to capture animations so that they could blend animations so there's no hitches, no like delay in certain movements. For example, when you hit a ground ball to first base, this used to be this, you know, the first baseman would grab it and then shift in to an animation and throw to second. Well, now they'll go into a more proper, better looking double play kind of spin technique. And then there was a whole other bunch of animations they show, like double plays on the run, you know, random infield and outfield plays, you know, jump catches. This all makes the game look so good. I think there's more than 700 animations is what they said, 700 new animations. And those are the little things. That's what really makes the show exceed. I can't wait to see more of that. All right, guys, that's going to do it. 10 new gameplay things you can see in MLB The Show 20. And until the next one, we'll see ya. Peace.